Egypt. Land of pharaohs, mysteries, and more sand than a cat's litter box. The story of Egypt unfolds like a tale from an ancient scroll, brimming with hieroglyphic intrigue, architectural marvels, and a penchant for eternal life. Imagine, if you will, a time so distant that mathematics had not yet suffered the torture of algebra, a world where Ra, the sun god, lit up the world more effectively than any 100-watt bulb. In comes the Egyptians, with their pharaohs donning crowns that could double as oversized lampshades. In the beginning, pardon, I jest, approximately around 3100 BC, Egypt assumed its place in history. This was achieved not through industrialization or caffeine-induced modern marvels, but through a simple yet profound act uniting Upper and Lower Egypt, a task akin to persuading cats to take baths. Our leading actor in this ancient saga was King Nama, who demonstrates that even back then, people knew the importance of a good organizational chart. Nama is credited with that aforementioned unification, wielding a mace and a firm hand that today's corporate CEOs could likely appreciate. Fast forward a bit, skipping a few millennia, hardly a blink in historical time, and stepping into an era that Hollywood would depict in various CGI-gilded productions, the Old Kingdom. This is when they went through their pyramid-building phase. Imhotep, the original architect, designed the step pyramid for Djoser, shaping the skyline before the skyline was even a thing to shape. The most iconic of these gigantic wedges of stone, the Great Pyramid of Giza, stands tall as a testament to human ingenuity and an abundantly available slave labor force. But there were ups and downs, as there always are. Famine, drought, or perhaps just some existential dread led wonderfully into the First Intermediate Period, a fancy term for chaos when the only means of text messaging was carving your displeasure onto a stone. Then came the Middle Kingdom, a sort of renaissance where Egyptian art and culture flourished. Think of it as the classical music era, but with a lot more sand. Here spelled the rise of Thebes as a capital, a center as grand as any Starbucks-clad metropolis, yet where the coffee was presumably a lot grittier. Now, I dare not leave out the New Kingdom, which was the Egyptian equivalent of the late-night party phase. This was an age of powerful pharaohs like Ramses II and Tutankhamun, who, to the dismay of countless future tourists, had a knack for being enigmatically buried. With time comes change, and with time the world turns. Egypt fell under the yoke of various other empires, the Persians, the Greeks with their Alexander the Great, and finally the Romans, whose arrival signaled a cultural merger akin to coffee shops selling tea. Each left their mark in a unique, subtle way, like an artist who insists on signing someone else's masterpiece beautifully. Egypt's modern tale is no less intriguing, a story that continues to be written on a tapestry as vast and colorful as the Nile in full flood. But despite all the change, turmoil, conquest, and transformation, Egypt remains a land cloaked in intrigue, a timeless testament to the meandering, often perplexing river of human history. As vivid as its colorful headdresses and as enduring as the clay pottery that still fascinates archaeologists worldwide, Egypt is as much a wonder today as it was in the days of old.